The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised. What's going on, you guys? Thank you guys so much for joining today on Kwame Speaks. Today's episode is going to be about reality or nah. And I'm so excited because today I am joined by my co-host, my brother from another mother, Kyrie Sinaj. Thank you so much for joining, bro.
Hey, you're welcome. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
Yes. So we're going to be actually doing something a little bit differently than we do over at Power Hour. We're going to have a little bit of, a little shade in it, but we're also going to talk about some of the things that goes through what reality show producers go through. So I really want to talk about production and that aspect and how when we see these type of situations when it comes to what's going on with the Real Housewives of Potomac, why there's such huge backlash on it. And I know a lot of people are probably looking at it, saying, well, it's reality TV. It's supposed to be fake. Is it authentic? There is a level of authenticity that's supposed to be in it. So we want to go into talk about it and really have some conversations on all of those things. So, and if you guys see me looking down, it's because I am producing and talking and all that stuff at the same time. So give your brother a break, okay? But I just want to also let you guys know, you can go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms at Kwame Speaks, with the exception of IG. It's Kwame_Speaks. Everywhere else is Kwame Speaks. But you can also check out my brother, Kyrie, especially on TikTok at Kyrie Sinaj. Check him out. And you feel free to donate, every little bit helps, I'm saying.
Amen.
Thank you, Praise Squad. And I want to make sure that that's the correct Cash App, because I think I had the wrong Cash App on this one. Yep, I do. Let me go ahead and change that, And also, while you're in here, don't forget to share. And if you're watching the replay, we want to thank you guys so much. And make sure that you guys are supporting not only this show, but all things Pyro Media Network. So
absolutely.
There's Kwame C86. Thank you, Praise God. All right, so let's also give a shout out to our sponsors. We want to first shout out Pyromediaproductions, the premier LA, Los Angeles, and California West Coast. Praise God. Production company to get social media management done, if content creation, any type of video and audio production, photography, anything that has to do with media. If you're looking for that, definitely hit up Pyromediaproductions. And we also do websites as well. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. And also shout out to my brothers over there, brothers and sisters, and everybody in between, kings, queens, and the entire spectrum in between, over at Bullet and Flight Radio, the #1 progressive Christian radio station in the world. So shout out to them, and thank you guys so much for your support. I do get reports from the Bullet and Flight team, and we are doing so well. All of the Pyro shows are doing well on this, so praise God.
Amen.
Yes. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get into what's going on with today's show. So like I said, we're going to be talking about reality or norm, okay? And this is episode 0220T3. Praise God. All right, so first things first. What is reality TV, okay? Reality TV is something that people are just kind of looking at it and saying, oh, well, it's just, any type of talk show or not talk show, any type of competition show or any type of thing. Well, there's a certain type of definition for what reality TV is specifically nowadays. And so reality TV is television programs in which real people are continuously filmed, designed to be entertaining, rather than informative. So stuff like a lecture or a documentary or a news show, that's not considered reality TV. But things like I guess the Bachelor or any of the Real Housewives, anything really.
Basketball Wives.
Basketball Wives, all of those things are considered reality, real world, road rules, all that other stuff was considered reality TV. And speaking of real world and road rules, we're going to be talking a little bit about the history of reality TV. So reality television exploded in the early 2000s. And just a quick shout out, shameless plug, but my brother Kyrie Sinaj did a phenomenal review on 90 shows and 2000 shows. Definitely check it out by going to Candid Conversations with Kyrie Sinaj. You can either go to the Candid Conversations YouTube page, or you can look at the playlist for Candid Conversations on Pyromedia Network. Yes. But he did a phenomenal overview, and it was a series that you did, and you also talked about reality TV shows as well, and what how it affects Black media, and the Black community. So I was really proud of you for doing that. So thank you so much. Of course, and I'm really happy that you're here to kind of talk about it, because I feel like I have a good sounding board, praise God. But going into reality television exploded in the early 2000s with franchises like The Bachelor, Big Brother, and Survivor. And it wasn't long before fame and fortune took on a greater focus with the Real Housewives shows and Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But before all of that, reality TV had quite a fascinating history in the 20th century with the first reality TV shows. The genre began far earlier than people might realize, and it got its start with the hidden camera style, then moving into the pursuit of the real American family, whatever that may be called. Okay, and then and now, reality television is marked by its diverse subgenres, including popular competition shows as well as family-focused domestic exploration. So I'm actually going to put into let me see if I can do it. No, I can't. But I want to talk about some of the different shows that they had in here. So I'm going to pull it. There it is. I'll pull it up right here. So these are some of the shows that were on, that were there, that kind of really started a lot of it. Specifically,
I feel old.
Yeah, they were really popular back in the day. Yeah. And so, like, for example, Candid Camera, which was in 1948, and it was available on Classics. I believe that was an older show. I don't even remember that channel. It's before my time. But Candid Camera is the first reality TV show with a creative concept from the start. It actually began on the radio in 1947, according to Guinness World Records. The radio show was called Candid Microphone and became so popular that it spawned a series of movie shorts using film cameras in place of concealed microphones. The TV version began in 1948 with the title Candid Mic and switched to Candid Camera the next year. So that was actually really dope to hear about that and to kind of navigate through that. Another one was a show called The American or Un-American Family, which was in 1973. An American Family is widely credited for birthing the reality TV genre, and Variety reported on it before its 1973 launch. Producer Craig Gilbert set out to capture the living patterns and mentality of a fairly typical middle America household. So I just want to make sure that we're being very clear about what we're talking about here. We're talking about a very middle America white family, because there's a big difference. Okay? Right. Let's be very clear about that. And then there was another show. If you look on the far right, far left on this page or on the screen, you'll see a show called Real People.
Now I remember that show.
You remember that show? So you can tell me a little bit about it, because I didn't hear too much about it before. This is the first time that when I was doing the research on this, that I heard about this. But this show is called Real People, and it started in 1979. And just like it sounds, Real People was one of the first reality TV shows that captured the triumphs and challenges of real individuals. Subjects opened up the camera crew about their toughest endeavors, from flying warplanes to running across Canada. It was a family-friendly show for everyone. So it was really interesting. Can you tell me a little bit about Real People?
This is where we first saw Bryant Gumbel.
Okay.
And like, it would give you fun facts, and there would be people, you would see them do like this, run across Canada, or someone who was out to set a record. They would film them People doing what they would consider extraordinary things with just real people that were not celebrities.
Okay.
And just show them in their day to day. It was a good. I was a kid. I liked it.
Okay. Well, now the next show that's coming up, I remember. I mean, I didn't remember when it first came out because I was still a baby, but Cops, which debuted in 1989. I remember Cops. Beginning in 1989, Cops spent 32 seasons on the air and depicted the routine duties of police officers. It was filmed in cinema variety style, eschewing incidental music and sound effects, narration, and scripted dialogue.
Yeah.
Though Cops continues production for international markets, the series was canceled in the U.S. in May 2020 following the tragic killings of Black individuals involving police officers across the nation. Due to its long run, Cops is one of the best police-themed TV shows to its date.
That was one of the shows we used to watch in college. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I remember watching Cops or seeing it on as I was growing up, which really didn't help with my relationship with police officers, and I think the relationship with police officers across the board with my brethren. You know what I mean? Right. Here's where I feel really where who's in the comments? Hey, Sean Kinsey, joining. Appreciate you. Hey. I'll save that for Pyro Power Hour. But The Real World debuted in 1992. And so The Real World premiered in 1992 and is MTV's original reality series. The official MTV history timeline calls the show a reality-based soap opera. The program put together a group of young individuals who did not previously know one another and followed their interactions under one roof. The series has 33 seasons to its name, with some of the best seasons being the early ones. I completely agree with that. Right now, they are coming back with its latest incarnation on Paramount Plus as The Real World Homecoming. And so, I'm loving to see. And I don't think I saw all of them. I think I watched New York. And I think I watched LA, but I don't think I watched. I think that's all they had, right, so far.
For the Homecoming. Yep.
Look at Sean. You're blushing.
Oh, please.
But yeah, there was a lot of different shows. Road Rules was another one which kind of spawned after Real World. I actually enjoyed Road Rules a little bit. I was more of a Real World fan, but that was just me. But there was a lot of different shows that they had. Now, out of Road Rules, they kind of came this iteration called the Challenge. It used to be the Real World Road Rules Challenge, and then they evolved into the Challenge itself.
But I love the Real World. I was, like I said on my show, I heard about the audition on the radio, but then after I saw the show, I was upset that I didn't audition.
Yeah, right.
I would do that. I could do that. Yeah.
Right. And then they also, in 1989, they came up with Big Brother. And so they started evolving, at least for me. Survivor came out. I'm looking on this list. There was a lot of different shows that came out. Chopped, RuPaul's Drag Race, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, 90 Day Fiancé, The Voice. I mean, we can go on and on. Shark Tank. The Great British Bake Off. So a lot of different shows. The Real Housewives franchise. Undercover Boss, which I wasn't real. Oh, I actually did watch Undercover Boss. So there was a lot of different shows that spawned out of these different things. So these are for me, and I think Kyrie, you could probably agree. I think The Real World really laid the foundation for what type of reality shows that we watch today, like the Real Housewives franchises, and like some of the other shows, like Marital, a lot of the Bravo shows and stuff like that.
But really I believe those became popular because when the writers went on strike, that's when reality TV took off.
Yeah. It did. It was a lot going on there. But I do want to take a moment to shout out some of our sponsors, and one of them is the Coldest Water. If you guys can use the QR code, don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comments right here. And if you are listening on Bullet and Flight Radio, you can go over to either our website at bulletandflightradio.com, at pyromedianetwork.com, or you can come over to Pyro Media Network at youtube.com /pyromedianetwork to get these comments in here. So definitely check them out. The Coldest Water is a phenomenal website, and they have a whole bunch of different items and stuff that you can utilize for next level type hydration. Okay. And we also have audible.com and definitely check them out, because if you're looking to listen, that's how I ingest knowledge and information and read my books, as I listen to them, and that helps as well. So definitely check out if you guys are trying to maintain your New Year's resolutions by intaking and reading more books, listen to them. You get a free 30-day trial, and if you are a Prime member, you get 2 credits instead of 1 if you are not a Prime member. So just wanted to take a moment to do all that. Thank you so much to our sponsors. We appreciate you. Yeah. So what does a producer really do? We hear all the time about producers and producers who are a part of these reality shows. And, sometimes if you guys watch The View, oftentimes you may hear like Sunny Hostin or some of the other ladies on there. They will say, "Oh, I'm getting something in my ear," or the producers are telling me something. Producers are major. And also, if you guys watch Pyromedia shows, you may even see me yelling via text at Kyrie, telling him to hurry up because we have to go to commercial. So, but
every week.
Every week. But the producers are really, really important when it comes to shows, whether it be reality shows or talk shows or what have you. They are the ones that keep the flow going and maintain everything. So, but what is a producer? Right. So a producer, by definition, is a producer for a film is anyone who brings the project to fruition and is often the person that holds the rights to the underlying property. Purchase and development. They purchase and develop projects, if applicable. Producers secure the rights to the projects. They hire and manage key team members, including writers, directors, managers, talent, heads of department, key crew, staff, and other personnel. And they usually are the ones that set the budget and or manage the budget and secure funds for projects moving forward. So oftentimes through investors, personal funds, or a studio. And so after funding, producers oversee the project to ensure it stays within budget, build a schedule using production management software and or tools to set the production schedule, oversee post-production from editing through music composition and picture lock, and marketing the project and to generate buzz for the project by working with public relations teams and marketing teams. So there's a lot that producers do. There's even more that executive producers do, but that's here nor there. So I know for me, I have a very busy schedule because I have to manage a lot of different things that are going on for with Pyromedia. So I can't even imagine what the Bravo producers are having to deal with, especially with personalities and having to deal with
producers are the backbone.
They are the back, but they are the ones that navigate everything. And also, fun fact, producers are the ones that are actually, we're going to get into that. I'll go into that in a minute because I can't, we'll go, actually it's next up. Okay. So there was an article that came up when it came to, there was an article that Business Insider did, and it was talking about secrets of a reality TV producer. And I found this to be extremely interesting because not only did I find it to be interesting because it was just a dope topic, but it was interesting because I couldn't believe that they were giving out these secrets. These are things that you kind of really don't hear in the, until you are actually working with an organization or working with a production company, or you're in the media booth with an executive producer or the lead producers or the producers in general, or if you're in like I know for me, when I was interning at Lionsgate, there was a lot of different conversations that I was privy to because I was there. And so you don't really hear these type of secrets going out. And I don't think this article got its just due. But for those who are into the realm of or into this kind of field, they understand that these conversations are happening and these things are being done. So let's get into some of it. So one of the things that has happened is reality TV is actually not real. Okay, so for people who don't know, just in case you didn't know, reality TV is not real. Okay, and what I mean by that, it's not as authentic as you think. There are real people in there. These people are going by their real names. It's not that. It's just that the situations are manifested. They're produced.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that very quickly. Also, producers are extremely cheap. Here's why. They have major budgets to deal with, and they are constantly getting pressure from investors and or dealing with their own personal funds if they've invested into the show themselves. And so they have to recoup those. And so giving people, craft services every day, getting cars for certain people. That's why you'll see people who are friends of the show on Housewives. Yeah. They don't get the same luxuries that the actual cast members do, right? And so I'm seeing Kyrie shake his head because he's like, "Yep, no, they don't." So you want to talk a little bit about maybe some of the stuff that you know of or what you've heard of in the realms of what's going on with different cast members and levels and stuff like that.
But like you said, that when you're the friend of the show, which is why on the Housewives branch, a lot of the friends of the show are trying to come on and be a permanent part, which is what Marlo Hampton fought hard to get a peach. But she was a friend, but now she has a peach. On Potomac, Sharice was fighting hard to come back.
She is. And I think she will, but that we're gonna get into that soon too.
Well, I'm praying to the reality gods she doesn't, but yeah.
I think she's the only one. We'll get into that because I want to talk about that. And I think you're gonna be a perfect person to do this with.
Now, I'll tell anyone, if you're really into reality TV like I am, if you want a crash course, go watch the interview with Carlos King and Tammy Roman. Tammy Roman dropped gems.
Yes, and also watch or listen rather to Amanda Seales' podcast when Tammy Roman was on there because she also dropped gems on that one as well. Amanda Seales' podcast is what is it called? Small Doses, and so I don't remember the episode that she was on, but just look up Small Doses, Amanda Seales, Tammy Roman. It was a phenomenal conversation, and it really. She also dropped some hints about what was going on behind the scenes with Basketball Wives, but also what was going on behind the scenes with production. And so when you know how production is, specifically when we say production, I'm not talking about the cameraman. I'm not talking about the clips. We're talking about the producers. When the producers, we'll get into it.
Yeah, because the producers, I will say, now the producers on some of these shows, they like to egg the people on.
Yep. And I was just going to say, because Business Insider, one of their points on here is that this says, producers, we're master manipulators. We often take different clips and edit them together to sound like one conversation, sometimes drastically changing the meaning. We can even create complete sentences from scratch. It's so common, we have a name for it, Frankenbiting. If you see someone talking and then the camera cuts away to a shot of something else, but you still hear their voice, that's likely Frankenbiting, excuse me. Don't miss the most popular TV and movie quotes of all time. Now, that's very interesting, and I wasn't expecting people to talk about that, which is why I found this insider report so interesting, because that's a huge secret. People talk about it's like, oh, it's the edit. And people say, well, no, you actually said it. Did they? Did they really? You know what I mean? So a lot of times people don't know about that. That's a huge thing in video production editing, and that editors are asked to do. And sometimes producers are also editors and also have video production backgrounds as well, or degrees as well. And so they will edit things themselves and get sound bites and clips and things of that nature. They also say in here, it says, we lie about how long a job takes. Compelled to redo their bathroom in a day after watching a DIYer do it on a reality show. Not so fast. Maybe we made it look like it took only 24 hours, but we actually had a professional crew working on it for 2 weeks. And the budget we gave was completely unrealistic. So for example, if you guys have seen those room makeovers or house makeovers, and they try to do it within a week, they probably did it within or they said, oh, we did it in a day. And it was just, the 4 of us. It's most likely they hired a huge crew that came in there to overnight everything. Which is really hilarious to me. They do that a lot actually on HGTV, which I find really funny. And I watch it all the time. And sometimes I watch it with friends, and they're like, "Oh my god, they did it so fast!" And I just look at them like, "Okay, girl."
I used to say that about the show. I forgot the name of the show, but I know Ty Hunter was the lead for him, and we moved that bus, and they moved the bus.
That was a good show.
That was. I can't remember the name of it though.
I forget the name of it too, but that show made me emotional all the time because I was just like, "It always happened to great families," so I didn't mind that. Another point that this article made was we prefer flawed people. It says, "Here's a tip for applying to be on a reality show: talk about your weakness. Whether you're terrified of snakes or you can't stand lawyers and salesmen, the producers love that stuff, and the reason why is because they can egg on it. So, for example." Let's say me and Kyrie were going to be trying to audition to be on The Real World. And Kyrie hates light-skinned people. And I hate people who wear Black Mental Health Matter shirts. Guess who they're going to put together?
We'll be roommates.
Right. We're going to be roommates. They're going to make sure we interact all the time. Like, it is literally a whole thing. And it just generates buzz. It generates,
right.
Entertainment. You want to see conflict, and unfortunately, that's where we've gotten to.
And they'll get in your ear and say, Kwame said such.
Yes. Oh, hold on with that because we're gonna get into that. They also say we look deep into your past and personal life. The big shows do an extensive background check on all prospective stars. We call friends and family members, conduct drug and STD tests, make you sit through endless interviews, and do psychological and physical examinations. That is very true. And this is actually a tactic that I kind of use it for good. So what I mean by that is I want to know, for example, how I cast for shows. Like if I'm thinking of a show, or if I'm thinking of bringing somebody onto the network, and I'm looking at what type of shows that we don't have and what they could bring or how we can make them different, I look at who they are and see how people can, and see what's marketable about them. If you use that for evil, then the way to do that is look at people's weaknesses. You want to do research on them. You want to check out their social media. Now, with everything, people being so quote unquote transparent on social media, it's very easy to find out things because once you put it on the internet, that's it. And a lot of the people, especially those who are flawed, oftentimes they are posting things and they're oversharing things. And guess who's going to see that? Producers, producer staffs, and their assistants, and the researchers that are once you're auditioning. The moment you put in an audition, they're already looking for you. They're already looking at what you do. They're already looking at ways to see how they can and what cast members they can bring in and how they can manipulate the situation.
And that's
the way the business is.
Dirty. Some producers are dirty.
They are actually. I can't lie, child. I can't lie about that. Another point that they say is that some shows are more real than others. Not all reality shows are the same, and some are heavily staged. On House Hunters, some of the houses toured on camera were reportedly friends' homes that weren't even on the market. And for day in the life shows about different occupations, many producers fake scenarios, like a tree falling on a logger, to add drama. And that's also true. That's very true.
And all the tea.
Listen. We love getting into contestants' heads on camera. The on-camera interviews are especially produced. You can nudge a cast member to think a certain way or tell them something that will change their tune. This is evident in what Kyrie and I were talking about earlier. Actually, what Kyrie brought up in terms of people getting in their ear. And you see this a lot in confessionals. Oftentimes, sometimes you'll see them slip where you'll hear a producer asking the cast member a question, but that's happening throughout the entire time.
Right.
They're asking them a question. They're saying, "Hey, did you know that Mia said this? Did you know that Karen said that? Did
Right.
you know that Kyrie said this about you?" And whether you believe it or not, they already know what's going on. So they're gonna manipulate. Well, Kyrie could have been like, could have said, you know, Kwame, I don't know how I felt about Kwame's shirt that he had on today.
Ooh.
The producer will go to Kwame and say, Kwame, you know, Kyrie was talking mad crap about your shirt. Completely amping it up.
Right. I mean, I just, when we get to talk about that, I'll talk about it. Because that's a perfect example of what happened on this grand finale. Oh, perfect example.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that whole
that was a perfect example.
Yes, and so I'm gonna, we could talk all day about this article, but it's a really good article. And one of the
they dropping tea.
Yes, they are. And then also one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about on here is you're seeing only a sliver of the action on that 42-minute episode you just watched. Quote unquote, The Biggest Loser, for example, has 11 cameras running 8 hours a day. That's 88 hours of footage a day, 7 days a week. So we end up with 616 hours of video for just 1 week's episode, which allows us to create the storyline we want. Don't miss these secrets reality TV chefs won't tell you.
And who the hell is editing that?
Oh, they have a team of editors. So
you have to, right? You have to.
They typically have a team of editors. It's not like one or two people. Like
they do their job really well.
Yeah, they do, and it's constant. And what's funny is that people don't realize that when they film, they have a certain amount of months to get everything edited, and sometimes once nothing's final until it airs. So they may have changes the day before it airs.
Yep.
So.
And I wish people knew that. And I kept trying. When R&B Divas was on, I got into so many arguments about this show. And because they were like, well, that's because Kelly Price said, that's just your friend. That's why you take it for. Who me? When I said me and Dante stay into it, that's because that's your friend. No, I'm telling you, it's edited.
It's edited. It really is. Right. A lot of it is edited.
And this right here is proof.
It is, and I'm sorry to say, you guys, but that it's a major deal. But anyway, there's a show that I just started watching, and I mentioned it on Power Hour. Shout out to the Pyromediaproductions over at Power Hour. But it's called Unreal. Okay, and Unreal was created by Marty Noxon. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Marty Noxon and Sarah Gertrude Shapiro. And it is an American drama television series that premiered on Lifetime on June 1st, 2015. And it stars Sherry Appleby as a young reality television producer pushed by her. Wait, I'm over here. That's why you can't see it. I'm like, do you guys know what's going on? There we go. Pushed by her unscrupulous boss, who's played by Constance Zimmer, to swallow her integrity and do anything it takes to drum up salacious show content. The show was created by, like I said, Marty Noxon and Sarah Gertrude Shapiro, and was inspired by Shapiro's award-winning independent short film, Sequin Roz. Now, this show, when I watched the first season, Kyrie, I have to tell you, it scared me because I was like, why are they giving out all these secrets? Why are they giving out all these secrets? Now, personally, Pyromedia doesn't do any of this. Like a lot of the tactics, because we don't have reality TV shows on our network, and I don't feel like we're probably ever going to have that. So that's not really something that is of interest to me. And if we're going to do reality, it's going to be real TV. But that's here nor there. But they use a lot of the tactics for that I was taught as a producer by other producers and seen by other producers, and they were just airing everybody's dirty laundry when it came to. Now, of course, this show is not real, but a lot of what they were doing, a lot of the tactics and the manipulation and the structure on how a reality show or they were showing it, and I was like, I know Hollywood was pissed. Like, I know Hollywood was so ticked off because it was just airing out certain things.
I want to say I found an episode or two of this back then.
I'm sure you did. But I definitely recommend. It's called Unreal. Definitely check it out. It's a really interesting show.
Is it on Netflix or?
No, I had to get it on Prime because I don't think they show it anymore. They took it off air. But it's on Prime. I ordered it on Prime, so or the first season on Prime. So I'm probably gonna order the second season because I just finished the first season a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, oh my god. So, but that's here nor there. But now we're gonna get into what does this have to do with the Real Housewives of Potomac, right? And so this is where we're going to get into conversations about the Real Housewives of Potomac and all of that jazz. But we're going to take a quick commercial break because, we got to pay bills, and that's how life is, right? That's how it is. But we're going to pay bills, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the Real Housewives of Potomac and talk about the finale and also talk about the interview that Andy Cohen had with Robin Dixon. On Watch What Happens Live, and what my opinion is on it, and also Kyrie and I are probably going to get into a debate. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after all of this. So much for tuning in. If you are just tuning in, we are back and we are just getting into the conversation of what does this have to do, all this conversation, that whole thing that we talked about, what does this have to do with the Real Housewives of Potomac and reality or not? So we're talking about production. Okay, we're having a conversation about production and specifically reality TV show producers. And so if you guys have been following the Real Housewives of Potomac, there's been some speculation, I guess, controversy, if you will, regarding so much. It's a hot mess. And for those who follow the Real Housewives franchises, or really honestly any kind of franchise that's similar to, really honestly, anything on Bravo, you kind of understand that there's an expectation now that we know that a lot of this stuff is manufactured, right? But there is still a level of expectation when it comes to authenticity. So when you show up to work on that show as a cast member, you're coming on and you're sharing a part of your life. That is the expectation that we have as viewers. And from a production standpoint, we have an expectation for the cast members to look at how they're going to navigate their issues, their whatever they're going through, whatever their authenticity or their authentic storyline is going to be, and how we can manipulate that to a level where it can be marketable, right? Manipulation sounds like a really bad word, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to talk about it because at the end of the day, the producers are working hard to get you guys entertained, right? On these different shows that you guys are watching. So Kyrie, tell me, and for those who have not seen the Real Housewives of Potomac this past episode, the finale, spoiler alert. Just throwing it out there.
Go binge watch it. After this show, go binge watch it.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched it, you can go ahead and click off now. Don't worry, we won't feel bad. Okay, praise God. All right, so go ahead and talk to me about your thoughts on this particular episode, because I have a tremendous amount of thoughts, and I really want you to tell me your thoughts from a fan expert, or from a fan situation, and I'll kind of talk about it from what I'm thinking and what I'm interpreting the producers are feeling.
Now, as a fan, I feel as a fan, the show, it was good. We just going on the grand finale. It was really a good grand finale. Huh?
You thought the Potomac finale was good?
I did. I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, the shade. I liked it. I mean, it was good TV. Now, things I don't now. Sharice, I don't like, but Sharice is good TV.
I think Sharice is a phenomenal TV, but go on.
That's a strong word.
I think she's phenomenal TV.
I think she's good TV, but she doesn't fit with these women.
I think she fits perfectly with these women.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
From a production standpoint, she is the only one that can get under Karen's skin. And Karen is a pillar on that show. They're not going to ever get rid of Karen unless Karen quits.
But Sharice wants them to. I think.
Wants who to?
My fault. I think I don't know if she wants Karen to quit or what, but like she just, or maybe she just thinks Karen is her meal ticket the way back in.
Hold on one second. Sean said I haven't watched it yet, but you're listening. Listen, Sean, we're not going to give any major spoilers. We're just going to kind of really talk about, to be quite honest with you, we're going to really talk about just kind of the overview of everything.
Now, as far as production goes, production is shady.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's why I say, because now you all have made me, of all people, an advocate of Black women.
Yes.
Be on this white man's side.
Whoa, why white man's side?
Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not, because that's wrong.
Yeah.
And then the word on the street is y'all had a meeting.
Yeah.
Robin, Giselle, and Ashley to see what you all were going to do. I think Ashley shady.
So for those who don't know, I just want to give a little backstory. If you're listening on Bullet and Flight, or if you just don't watch Real Housewives of Potomac, there's been an underlying conversation that's been going on, and a story arc that's been going on throughout this entire season, where apparently Chris Bassett, who is he Dillard? No, he's Bassett, right? Candace's last name is Dillard too, right? Because she's hyphenated.
No, I think he's Dillard. Chris Dillard.
He's Dillard. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris is Candace's husband, and there's been conversations and situations that have been going on where there's been insinuation that Chris has been inappropriate with some of the ladies on the cast. However, nobody's been able to give proof. And when they mention that an incident, or they say that something's going on when it's been on camera, production has put up evidence that nothing happened during that time. And so it's frustrating for, rightly so, for Chris to feel attacked, for Chris, especially when he hasn't done anything. And it really cost him some jobs. According to what he said, it's cost him
clients,
clients, businesses, and it doesn't look right when a man is being alleged that
you're being aggressive towards a woman. Yeah,
it just doesn't look right. And one of the frustrations that I have, because I'm always going to believe the victim, but one of the frustrations is that, and I say this carefully, I'm always going to believe the victim, but who's the victim in this?
Ooh, now you said that. I'm going to go with Chris is the victim of this, because I was about to say something. But Chris, I think in this situation, I think Chris is the victim. Because it was unprovoked, unwarranted, and they need a story. Well, Ashley she needs a storyline, and so does Robin. I think Robin's biggest problem is she needed a heavy storyline. Because the fans are getting tired of her. I'm not, but the fans are getting tired of Robin. I don't like Robin, but I don't want to see nobody lose their job.
She's not gonna lose her job.
I think she works. Oh no, she's not. I think she works well with Giselle. Now, speaking of what you went back to and you said how people could turn the words around because of production. Mm-hmm. Giselle totally did that with Karen. Now, Sean said Karen reads down. Karen does read down, and I love Karen. But how I know Karen does not like Sharice in real life, Karen will read Giselle for filth. Karen won't even mess with Sharice. She won't deal with her unless you push her. That's why I said this woman don't like her in real life. You don't like her. So, but Giselle turned Mia's words around because she said, "What did Mia tell you? She called you a prostitute," and that's not what Mia said. Sharice was going on about what Karen does, and Mia asked, "So are you saying she's a prostitute?" That's not saying Karen is a prostitute.
But Kyrie, that's what ticked me off when Mia had an opportunity to clear herself up with that, but she fell right in that trap. She fell right into Giselle's trap. And that's what's stupid about, like, that's why I don't think Mia's, first of all, I think Mia's very dangerous. And I think she is a loose cannon.
And she's not the brightest bulb in the lamp either. Right.
And I don't think that she makes great TV. I think that she is just a loose cannon, and she has realized that she has taken the position of villain. And the problem with that is that it's not that she's not a Kenya. No. Kenya knows how far to go, and Kenya knows that she can work around the situation. I don't like Kenya. I'm not a big fan of Kenya, but I know Kenya's smarter than this.
Right, but she's good TV, right?
She's great TV.
And speaking of production, now this is my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. I believe production had a meeting with Mia and Robin and said, "Listen, this is your last chance. Step it up, or you're about to step out." And I think that's why both of them became the way they were.
I don't think they had a meeting with Mia.
You don't think so?
I don't think they had a meeting with Mia because Mia gets herself into trouble by herself. She doesn't need help.
She does. No, Mia was nice. Now, last season, Mia had me on her side when it came to her and Candace. Your mama. Oh my God, I did not like Candace last season, but this season I love Candace. I went from not liking you at all to loving you.
So let me explain why I feel Candace has I don't want to call it a Cinderella story. She woke up. That's the best word. Because Candace came into a situation where she was expecting, when she hears reality TV, mm-hmm. she was expecting people to be real. And I think that in defense of Monique Samuels, Monique saw an opportunity for them to elevate on the cast. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Candace was looking at her like, "Girl, you're supposed to be my friend, but you over here being all coochie with them. So why are you..." And I don't think Candace understood why Monique was doing that, because Candace is like, "But I'm your friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be coming. I'm trying to be real." And I don't think that she understood. I think she thought that being real 100% was the way to go. And that's not how it is, because none of them are 100% themselves. And I was listening to Carlos King a couple of days ago when he was doing his live, and he was talking about this. None of them are 100%. None of them are giving their full selves. And if they're giving a portion of it, it's not a whole story. You don't see what they do in the first couple of seasons of like Atlanta, or even Atlanta. Atlanta's a lot more realer than this. Jersey is a lot more realer than this. You know what I'm saying? Even Beverly Hills.
I don't watch them.
I watch all of them, with the exception of I haven't seen Miami yet.
Oh, you watch Dallas?
I don't watch Dallas either, actually.
Okay.
I guess I don't watch.
They just look boring. I'm like,
it's too much.
Now, I have watched Salt Lake City. I have
not. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Jen saw. Jen shot what she was. She went to prison now with
I still don't know the whole storyline behind that one. I heard a couple of things on Power, but that's here nor there. My point is that I feel like Candace came into a situation. Now she understands the game.
She does.
After this past season, or excuse me, not this past season, but after last season, she was like, "Oh, I feel like somebody had a conversation with her.
I think Karen sat down and had to talk. Let's talk.
Whoever, somebody had a conversation, and honestly, I don't think it was Karen. I think it was Robin.
You do?
I do, because Candace had said on one of her, especially even just recently when she was going back and forth with Ashley online on social media. She said Robin was really like my friend. So I feel like Robin had a conversation with her and was like, "Hey, girl, this is not how this works." You know what I'm saying? And I feel like because of I feel like Candace is one of the realists on there. And it's because we've seen her growth, we've seen her journey. And I think Candace is extremely smart. And I think that she has really made a profitable 180 turn and really utilized the show to up her brand. And that's what you're supposed to do. And be as authentic as you can, right? You don't have to share everything. We all know that this is
now, according to Mother Cohen, you supposed to, because he's upset at Robin.
Okay, but Mother Cohen, do you do the same?
No.
Come on now, girl. Let's be real. We understand that there's a limited amount of realness that is going on with these shows, right? And the producers are getting the best that they can out of these different things. But I think the frustration that the producers, because I have to agree with what Carlos King said. Potomac is in extreme danger. That show is in danger. They need to really, really fix some stuff, because what's happening is that there's an expectation from fans. There is an expectation from fans asking, this is what I'm expecting to see when I'm turning on the TV. There is this economy right now. People don't have time to be paying for apps and paying for cable to watch you live and or the next day, and you're wasting their money.
That's true.
That's the mentality that viewers are watching now. So when you're giving your content, especially when it comes to these shows, you have a multi-million-dollar budget for these shows, these production budgets, and you're coming out here and you're lying or you're withholding information. That's not okay. And so that's why Robin got all that backlash. And then furthermore, you sat there and you went after Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And her business. So you look messy when you had skeletons in your closet. And going to the conversation that she had with Andy, did you watch that?
Yes, I did.
It was
Andy was like, you're saving it instead of bringing on the show. You saved it for your PayPal or what? Not PayPal, the part of their
paywall. Yeah,
paywall. Yeah, you saved for your paywall. And so Erica defended. She said, "Well, I'm off of paywall. I'm off of making a coin."
Oh, you're talking about
the judge. The judge that was sitting next to her. Ain't that Erica?
No. Whatever, but I forget. Yes,
the judge. Part of the judge, yeah. But now, okay, Sean, you said you believe Giselle is fabricating about Chris. Yeah, I thought you meant about when she was still with her kids. Speaking of her kids, now I don't like Giselle, but I love her kids. Her children are hilarious.
Yeah, because they saw right through her,
and they always do.
And Giselle, if you're smart, I would limit the amount of film time that you have with your kids, because they're gonna air your dirty laundry, girl. Because we know what you're doing. But my point in all of this, going back to, because we get a real power hour-ish, and I don't want to do all that. My frustration with going back to the Watch What Happened live interview, it was so painful to watch, because I was just like, Robin, girl, either you truly believe this, which if you do believe this lie and believe this man, and you didn't make it up yourself and you truly believe this, then you definitely need therapy.
I think she wants to believe it.
Or you think we boo-boo the fool. Like it's either one of the two. Either you think we're boo-boo the fool, or you need therapy. And in
I think she needs therapy, but I think she wants to believe Juan.
That's fine and dandy, but don't try to convince us of it, girl. We understand. That's not how this works. The producers know.
That's why Andy's attitude the way it is.
Yes, that's why his attitude was the way it was, because he couldn't grill her too much. Because at the end of the day, the job of the producers is to carry the story along, to make sure, and this is great content if she capitalizes on it, which is why I don't think they're going to get rid of her. If she capitalizes on it, she can use this as her storyline for next year.
Next season. Because she doesn't have anything else.
But she didn't have anything this year.
Well, you don't crack me up. You don't crack me up because I went back, excuse me, because I watched it on Peacock. So I went back a few seasons. Why was Robin talking about getting married in 2020? And
hold on. Just Dominic says, I believe Juan. I tried to say it with a serious face. I know you lying. I know you lying.
You believe Juan? Do you really?
No, he don't.
I know he don't.
There's no way.
But see, I'm about to get power. Because I'm going to say, is it just me or is that like one of the most unattractive families?
No comment. I'm not going to go there. But I think one of I think if Robin really wants to kind of, because I know the producers had a conversation with her about this. They're like, hey, girl.
But we don't know what they're going to say on the reunion, which may be another reason why Andy didn't go too deep like he wanted to. Because I don't know what they said. We'll decide what he said, part one for the reunion. And why is Sharice at the...
They don't have anything else to talk about, Kyrie. They don't have anything else, and this is why I'm really frustrated, and I'm sure the producers are frustrated. I know the fans are frustrated because they've been very vocal about what's going on because they're calling for Robin's firing and termination. At the end of the day,
fans. Now, I don't think she should be fired.
She's not going to get fired. She's not.
I ain't gonna say not because the people kept saying Mariah Huck wasn't gonna get fired. Mariah Huck is where looking at the TV with us. So I ain't gonna say what she ain't gonna get.
She's not gonna be fired, and I'm gonna tell you why she's not gonna be fired. The only way the only way she's gonna get fired is if she comes in next season and she plays us to be Boo Boo the Fool. If she gonna act like she's not gonna utilize this as an opportunity for her to go and be real about this,
well, what's she gonna do? Divorce her for a second time? She done waited.
No, you need to bring this conversation. You need to bring the situation between you and Juan and what happened, all this stuff here. You need to bring this to light because it's happening. It's coming out whether you like it or not, girl. It's coming out in social media. And that's another.
Yeah, I believe. Now this is me. I believe she's talking about it because Kim Pyre, the one who brought it to the light.
It wasn't just Kempire. Carlos King talked about it. DJ Richie talked about it. There's all of the bloggers are talking about it. It hasn't. It's not.
Kempire was the first one I saw with it. That's what I was.
Yeah. Well, I saw. Well, he will always talk about. Shout out to Kempire. He will always talk about the Real Housewives and do a recap on it. But one of the things that I found interesting that Kempire said was that he was really frustrated with this. No, it wasn't Kempire that said it. Carlos King said it. He was really frustrated. Carlos King was really frustrated with this iPhone 12 looking footage that they had for the wedding. Yeah, and it looked like it was rushed in at the last minute. And usually, go ahead.
Well, did production pay for that wedding because you had all this glam for 6 people: Juan, Robin, the 2 kids, and the mom and daddy.
And that's where I'm at with it. Because let me explain something to you. You made it seem like it was just going to be you, the kids, and Juan. All of a sudden, I see your family. All of a sudden, I see a full-on, and you said you wanted to be intimate and small. Yep. I see full-on, like, I know production paid for that. I know it, because they needed to have something to offset what's been going on, and I feel like they did it at the last minute.
Well, I think somebody convinced Juan to do it. Because, like I said, they've been talking about this since 2019.
Right. Right. So that's why I'm saying, Robin, Stop playing us like we were the fool, because it's not. And this is where I'm a little disappointed with the producers too, because y'all navigated this wrong. Because first of all, a lot of the stuff went unfinished, and the finale, usually in the finale we get a hard cut, so things that are like we get a wrap up. That's the job.
You know, the M&A show, like they say, well, Karen, whatever they're doing, Wendy, whatever they're doing, then underneath it. Whatever it said about Karen, I can't remember, but I know it was shady as hell and it made me laugh. The Grand Dame. What did they say about Karen?
Oh, yeah, but it's not even just that. They didn't wrap up with the situation that was going on with Ashley and her, whatever he is to her.
Well, we know.
We
know Ashley. Well, we know now that she didn't get. Well, we didn't know. She said it. She didn't get no money from the divorce. She's not getting any alimony.
Do we really know that? She didn't say it on the show.
I mean, she said she's getting child support, but not any alimony.
But Kyrie, that's what I'm talking about. That stuff is happening all on social media instead of the show that you're getting paid to be on. That we are paying as fans and as
well, yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe she's gonna ride with that for next season because Mama needs somewhere to live.
But that's my whole purpose and what I'm saying about how reality production is supposed to be. The producers are supposed to get to a point where you wrap up. Now, yes, the reunion is a space for them to expound on certain things, but we didn't get wrap-ups on things. We don't know what's going on with because Chris Bassett, you waited until the last season or the last episode for Chris to engage Giselle and Ashley.
Right.
That should have been throughout the entire season. He just got you waited until the last episode.
He didn't have anything to say to him. He's like, I ain't got nothing to say to him. And so then he's like, fine, I'll talk to you.
But
I need that production push
to make that happen.
Yeah, I need production push. I need production push that.
They had to because it's like we need a wrap up.
Ashley jacked it up, and he just left.
And then Karen's always leaving listen, that's one of the things that frustrates me about Karen. Like, girl, listen.
But that's why I said Karen don't like that woman.
You keep leaving scenes, girl.
Karen does not like that woman. That's why I said that Karen will stay. If it's her and Giselle, Karen will stay and read Giselle down. Read Giselle for filth, for whatever.
You are not Annalise Keaton. You don't need to grab your purse every 5 seconds because the water's hot and you got to get up and leave. Girl.
Well, you know what she did? She said, whoo! And
to be quite honest with you, like we get it real power. But to be quite honest with you, Karen, what they were saying, I don't think it's foreign to you, honey.
Hey, Bobo, but I don't think it's. Maybe I'm like Robin. I don't want to believe it's true. When it comes to one, I'm like, well, Karen, I don't want to believe it's true. I don't believe.
I don't care. Listen. You and
if people have really watched the show, they will. If people have been fans of the show for a while, they will know in a roundabout way, Ray did give Karen like a hall pass.
Allegedly,
if you watch the show, now he didn't come out and say that, but if you watch the show, I think this is just me thinking. Sometimes them blue pills don't work.
But Kyrie. At the end of the day, you and I both know through the circles that we are in and the people that we know, you and I both know that there's more to what's going on off screen than what you put on screen. So we can leave that right there, right? But what you put out on screen is open. You are on a reality show. And my whole point in this whole situation is really not with the cast members. I think this is an egregious failure on the producers. I really do. And I'm sorry.
I think they're blaming the cast. But the producer's going to blame the cast, which is what Andy was doing with Robin.
What? Andy, girl. Listen, girl. First of all, you weren't producing this show. I'm talking about the producers of the show, the showrunners.
Karen having sex with Ray, Nor is Stedman and Oprah. Child, we already know Stedman and Oprah.
Okay.
That's not me that Bobo said that.
In a power-ish. We're going to talk about this. Not on Kwame Speaks.
Kwame Speaks, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a little wholesome on Kwame Speaks.
A little wholesome.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
But on Kwame Speaks, we want to talk about the production aspects, and I think that's where my frustration.
The producers need to pull them in a meeting and say, "Hey," what I think they did with Sharice. I think they told Sharice to egg that woman on because Sharice just keeps saying, but Sharice's really basically just saying the same thing. That's why I'm like, why are you there? You're saying the same thing every scene. Karen messing around. Karen got a boyfriend. Karen went to Vegas with a man. Next scene, Karen is having sex with a man. That's how she does. I'm like,
yeah, I wasn't impressed. This last episode was boring. The only highlight for me was Candace. I really enjoyed her song. I think this is probably her best song that she's done.
The one with Trina?
Yeah, the one that she did with Trina. I think that was one of her best songs, if not the best one that she's come out with. And I'm proud of her because she not a lot of reality stars can create something outside of that. You know, of course you get like, you know, different side businesses. You got the girl got hats, with Robin got hats and stuff, and you got
them hats ain't doing nothing.
Right, but it's hard for if you don't already have like Candy on Real Housewives of Atlanta already had a career prior to her going on to, so that was not an issue. But to start out coming up, Candace really, and she can really sing. You know what I'm saying? She really can sing. I
didn't see that, but now I don't know about that. Her album. Now I saw Anita Baker push it. I was like,
she could really sing. She listen to it. Just listen to that song.
But now I like her on the show. What's it called? Who? What's the name of the devil? Push. I like her on Push.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's a show with her, Candace, Erica Mena, and T.S. Madison.
Oh, send me a link on that. I haven't seen that.
It's on the All Black Network. Okay, I did a TikTok about it.
You in this All Black Network, and you kind of, you know, there's a couple of different shows that a couple of different people told me to go and watch on there. I'm tired of adding shows. I had to cut out a lot of these different shows because I don't even watch the networks. And it's coming out of my check. I'm like, look, girl.
Well, do the free subscription trial for a weekend. Just watch it. But I like the show. The show is good. It's a scripted series. It's really good. I like it.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're way past our time. Definitely check out me and Kyrie tomorrow morning on Power Hour. We have a lot to talk about, and I haven't even looked. I don't want to look because I know it's going to be a hot mess tomorrow. So thank you guys for checking Kwame Speaks out. And Kyrie, thank you so much for joining with me. You are my partner in crime. I appreciate you, and I cannot talk to anybody else about reality TV. And you really, really have your knowledge there. So I really appreciate you joining in on that.
I have formed friendships because of reality TV.
No, that's right. Yes, but definitely
that's one of the reasons how Coco and I became close, because of reality TV. We both have
she's going to be on the reality TV show, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
March the 5th, everyone. March 5th, SWVN Escape on Bravo Network.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys so much for joining on this episode of Kwame Speaks. We talked about reality TV or not, and we wanted to deep dive into production, specifically with reality producers or reality TV producers. And we also want to thank our sponsors, Bullet and Flight Radio, as well as Pyromediaproductions, as well as the Coldest Water and Audible.com. So thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys next week on all things Pyro Media, and check out all of the other shows on Pyro Media Network by going to www.pyromedianetwork.com. It's been fun. It's been real. Thank you so much. Create a great day and a great week, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, be blessed. See you. Bye.